So today I am in Winona, Mississippi. I delivered in Madison, Mississippi this morning. Had a coil on that I brought down from Columbus, and came up to Winona, topped off with fuel. Just kind of been sitting here hanging out for a little bit, and now we're going to go on up to Memphis, pick up a load of bars, go back to Chicago. Same place I went in the last video if I got to put it out yet. But anyway, I guess playtime's over, time to get on the road. So one thing that I do get asked quite a bit, what's the difference in flatbedding, truck driving, you know, big truck, semi-truck, whatever, and RV transport? There's a lot. To me, there's a lot. This truck here has so many more moving parts that it's just kind of daylight and dark difference. When you're doing RV transport, you're responsible for your pickup. When you're doing this, you're responsible for the truck and the trailer and all those extra moving parts. Not only that, but when you hook to a camper, you hook up to a camper, you tear out down the road. Check it out, make sure nothing's falling off before you leave, and you're pretty well good. With this, you're constantly loading and unloading different things, and that in itself can cause issues, because if you load something and it stays together good, you're good. The next load that doesn't stay together good, you're not good. You got, figuring out the different ways to chain and strap and secure everything down, and you're responsible for all that securement equipment, chains, binders, straps, all that stuff. So that's another expense to this if you don't have an RV transport. This or hot shotting, either one. Another thing is just the DOT looks at you so much harder in one of these than they do in RV transport. I could not believe the difference when I got out of a big truck into a pickup pulling campers. I pull up on the scale and they just wave you by like you're in their way. That was crazy to me. I just was not expecting that. The money, to me, by the time you spend the extra money buying all the equipment, the upkeep and repair and replacement of the equipment, and then the upkeep of the truck and trailer, you're going to make a little bit more money, but you're going to carry a whole lot more responsibility. To me, that's just a fact of it. You're responsible for a lot more vehicle at all times, because you're never without a trailer. You're responsible for the cargo that you're hauling. You're responsible for everything, Or when you're pulling campers, you're responsible for the camper, And most of the time, those are brand new. So there shouldn't be a whole lot to go wrong. I have seen, and I've had friends that have had problems with axles. I had the skirting blow out from under one. I had a couple of different issues, but nothing still as bad as whenever you have a load on the flatbed and it starts walking around trying to get off. And seems like no matter what you do, you just can't get a good angle on it to keep it where you want it. When you go through the scales, pulling a camper, they look at your truck, they look at your trailer, they look to make sure nothing's falling off of it. When you go through the scales on one of these things, they're checking your straps, chains, looking for anything they can. They're really looking at your tires. When you're pulling campers, they usually figure, well, that's a fairly new looking truck with good looking tires on it, and the camper is probably going to have brand new tires on it. So they don't even look at it. For one of these, they come out and look inside and outside, and I'm sure that's the same as with hot shot as well. Had a friend ask me the other day, wasn't I making a whole lot more money doing this? And the end number, the gross money, yeah, oh yeah. But the net, what I actually get to keep out of it, to me it's about the same. The differences are with this, I'm home every weekend, and with that I wasn't. With this, you know, I'm maybe putting a few $100s more a week in the bank, but like I have to get it serviced tonight, and I'm not real big on letting other people service my truck, but I'm just not set up for it, don't have time for it, so I'm gonna give it a shot if I can get there and have enough time left to do it. I'm gonna take it to the Petro at Effingham, Illinois, and see if they can do a service for me. And I do have 2 sensors to put in the front and back differential, both the differentials, 1 sensor each, that tells the differential temperature. I have the gauges on the dash, I want them to work. I've got to figure out something to do about this long cord. I've had this microphone and CB and all that stuff, I don't know how many years, probably close to 10 years, and that cord has really got a stretch to it, and I got to figure out some way or another to pin that up. But earlier today, good example of extra responsibilities. Earlier today, flatbed passed me, and whenever he passed and he went to get over, I noticed all of his dunnage on his landing gear on his trailer had walked out, and it was across the dotted line. When I looked in my rearview mirror, I saw the dunnage hanging over into my lane, and I tried to get his attention, tried to call him on the radio, no answer. I hope he found it before he hit something, but he wasn't paying. He didn't see me, you know. I saw him, he didn't see me. And like I say, I tried to holler at him on the radio and didn't get an answer and all that stuff. Anyway, like I say, that, as far as why do I not enjoy this job anymore, I've just been doing it so long that it's, I don't know, I would really like to change all the way around, but I'm locked into this now for probably 4 years at least. I hope it gets back to where I do enjoy it, but right now I'd just rather be doing something else. It pays the bills, that's all it is. Yeah, I haven't really looked at a whole lot of different companies. I did work for this one back years ago. It's the first company that I ever leased a truck to after I bought my first truck. And they're not bad. They seem to treat me okay. We had a little bit of a hiccup there at the end, and it was right around 2008 when all the freight dried up, and I got tired of not having any freight. Plus I was kind of bumping heads with them at the time. Not the whole company, just a couple of different people here, but they're not here anymore, so it seems to be working out. They seem like they got a pretty good group of people here, but I don't know what he's doing. Having a hard time pulling the hills, I guess. Saying 77,080 pounds. So we are loaded up. Square my logbook up and ready to head towards Effingham. I figured that's where I'll stay for the night if I can get parking and get the truck serviced and all that stuff. And get on up there yonder in the morning. So I got a phone call a while ago. Well, yeah, it was the agent from Chicago, and she had me a load going from Chicago back down to from Chicago back to Hueytown, Alabama. So as soon as I can get up there and get this one off, I got to bounce over to Gary, Indiana, and pick up that one. So, like I said, may not get rich doing it, but they sure enough keep you busy. They had turned the water on out there, had the water truck running, and that stuff is such a soupy mess that once it gets water on it, it's literally just sludge on top of the ground, and it was almost ankle deep in places. So everything, I'm gonna clean my floor out sometime down there. All over my boots, all over my jeans. And another thing, put on a list of things to do tonight, make sure to get a shower so that I can get the truck serviced. I'm happy with the way it's tied down. The only thing is I need to get some bigger boards, and need to get some bigger boards. That way they don't have such a hard time getting their forks out from under. He had a little bit of a hard time getting the forks out between the load and the deck of the trailer. I made it up here to Effingham. I'm at Chaser's. Parked over here because I'm not going to get my service done. I'd planned on getting my service done here, come back, checked on my straps, made sure everything still looked good, and dang, if it ain't my buddy Tony. Hell, I ain't seen him since before my white truck went down, or my little truck, whatever you want to call it, the Duramax. So I think me and him gonna walk over here and get a steak and hang out for a little bit, and then shoot, I don't know, I may just wait and head on up to Chicago in the morning. Today is Wednesday, July the 12th, about 6:45 in the morning. Didn't really expect rain this morning, but we had about 4 left Effingham. Shows I should be up to Chicago in 2 hours. I told dispatch yesterday that I probably wouldn't be here until sometime after lunch, so this is going to work out really good for me if they can move my appointment up to load those. I've got 2 coils loaded to go to Hueytown, Alabama. That'll work out pretty good. Well, back here today at Cornell Ford, that pickup right there is going to be an issue when it comes time to back out. And I'm really hoping that there's not someone else around here getting unloaded. If there is, that'll make this really, really tight. got my coil boards up here. We're going to pick up 2 coils in Gary, Indiana, about 37 miles from here. Got all those chained down and everything seemed to be good. Paperwork scanned in, logs done. Ready to get on down the road. Passing that accident, getting through that traffic, we finally made over here to Chicago still, and sitting here in the rain. And there's a truck right in there. When he's finished tarping and he pulls out, it'll be my turn. Well, it is about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got out doing my walk around, just checking everything out. I've already been around it twice and checked my oil and my belts and all that stuff. But just kick my tires and make sure I didn't have any flat or low tires. Check my chains on my coils. I did a couple of bungees, reached in there and pulled on them. And picked these 2 coils up in Gary, Indiana, at Chicago Steel and Tin, going down to Hueytown, Alabama. But yeah, checked everything out. Make sure all my lights was working. Basically make sure nothing's falling off the truck, check the oil, check my belts, everything under the hood. And it is way too early for this crap, but we're gonna get on down the road. I'm back home. Today is Saturday the 15th, I believe, and I got home yesterday. It was a full 11 hours from DeMont, Indiana down to Hueytown, Alabama. I got down there, I think it was 4:30, 5 o'clock that afternoon, and it took every bit of my 11 hours to get down there. And once I got unloaded, it was like 9 o'clock. it took from right around 5 to 9 for them to get me in the door and get me unloaded. So I just pulled out front, went to bed, and came on home yesterday morning. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. I'm gonna try to make some more. It's just a lot more to making the video on the big truck. A lot more area to cover and all that stuff. Hopefully I get some better cameras, that way stuff won't be falling around. I know my phone fell off the back of the truck when I was backing up. I had no idea when I was up in Chicago, so gotta be careful of that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. I always leave links to anything I think you guys may be interested in looking at in the description. So don't forget to check that out, and I will see you in the next video.